All right, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Back at it. Let's give it a minute for everyone to hop in here. Let's give it a minute to redo this chart here. What's up, Diane? What's up, Hayden? So, SPY. All right, from these lows, let's see. Not quite there, right? We still would have a way more room to go if we wanted to touch this trend line. So we'll remove that for now. What is up, everyone? So we had this previous resistance, acted as support on June 26th, and we kind of acted as support there again last week. And now we're up 0.25% here pre-market. So biggest level above, right, based off the daily levels, it's going to be this zone right here, right? Resistance, resistance, support, right around 443.9. In between there, it's kind of, a little bit iffy. We have this previous support that acted as support there as well, a few times here too. So those are really the three biggest levels near where we currently are. Right, so 443.9, 437, and 431.7 or so. So we'll have to see what happens at open and play those levels accordingly. One thing I wanted to mention is, right, a lot of plays last week lost, which is totally fine, but the winners are always bigger than the losers. Right, you don't need to have a 90% win rate to win. Right, last week I had like a 65% win rate, and I ended up even. It was a tough week. We took a bunch of losses, so it's fine. Ended up even. So just like that, very, very easy, very, very easy. All right. So again, this week, try and focus on sizing small, planning every single trade, being cautious. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get greedy. Very important. Very, very important. And if anyone has any questions about anything, please let me know. Qs. All right, if we take a look at Qs, this is what I was looking at here before. Let's remove all these trend lines and let's redo this. Right, so here's what we look like naked chart. Right, here is from the low. We have one bounce, and then we kind of bounced off of it again last week. And then we have these lower highs. Okay, so it could potentially start to flag. It's definitely very early, but it's definitely possible. Okay. Just have to mute my mic for a second. Sorry about that. So we have a previous support here at 357.59, right? Resistance was a support. Bounced off of it last week as well, right on Friday. So we could definitely watch that for a bounce. Up above, this is going to act as a potential resistance, right? That previous support. And then the next big level above is right around this zone here, right around 372.8, or you can use that resistance, kind of the same thing. Just as long as you have a general idea of, where potential resistance is, it's fine. And then we could use these lows as well. Right, if this breaks, that's gonna probably be a solid spot for a short. And then below that, right, just the big candles, right? The stronger the reaction off the level, the bigger the resistance or support. Right, previous resistance acts as support. Let me actually post this graphic. That's very good. I'm gonna post it in the Discord in the resources section. Okay, I just posted it there. So I posted it in the resources section. Let me put it on the screen here. If it wants to work. There we go. All right, here's a great graphic. If you guys want to look at this one. So the stronger the bounce or the reaction off of a potential support or resistance, or like the bigger the move's going to be, the stronger it is, right? Which is why I always highlight these big rejections, right? So the bigger the rejection or the bigger the bounce off of a support, the stronger the level's going to be. Okay, so a pretty solid graphic. I just put it in the resources section in the Discord if you want to save that, copy it, whatever you want to do. So what am I looking at today? Nvidia is looking pretty solid. Let's see from this low to high. Right off the golden zone, we bounced. But let's see. So we have, let's go on to some more time frame. So higher low, lower high, we're up 2.45% here pre-market. We have this previous resistance. We have this previous support, right? Multiple times we've bounced off this level, and it's above that here pre-market. Okay. So at open, this could easily show some much bigger strength and push up out of here. So I'll definitely be looking at that at open. Let's see. Tesla. Right? Tesla daily. One bounce off the low, another two bounces off of this higher low, and then this could potentially be a third higher low. Right? We have that previous resistance from February 16th that we dipped below last week, but it would be classic fake out before we rip to the upside. Right? Resistance above is going to be around 237. Previous resistance right there. Okay. So looks pretty solid, honestly. Apple doesn't really look too like anything. Maybe this is a inverse head and shoulders here. Kind of is. Right, we have the neckline. Then we have, right, the left shoulder, the head, and a potential right shoulder here. Right, and that's the neckline. So, could we play calls at open? Sure, for a retest to 176.5, that's not a bad play. Yeah, Nvidia has earnings this week on Wednesday. So again, this could definitely see a rally up until then. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see how expensive the options are. But Apple definitely watching at open for calls to 176.5. Could definitely be a solid play. Let's see. Shop doesn't look like anything special. Netflix, right? The daily here on Netflix looks very, very solid. Right? Perfect head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Perfect neckline. Right? Previous resistance acted as support. We dipped below last week, and now we're hovering here. If this breaks 398.15, I'm going short. I'm going short of that for sure. All right, does everyone see that setup? Let me know if anyone has any questions about this. But that's a solid setup. We'll keep an eye on that. Coin has just been in this range for so long now. I'm not touching this. Amazon, nothing really special here. Google, it was in that range. It broke down last week. Now it's just hovering here again. We played that head and shoulders breakdown last week. Awesome. Microsoft also just kind of looking like coin. Microsoft and coin are just consolidating to the downside. Meta really has no setup. BABA, right? We have this higher low, potential higher low we broke down last week, and now we're kind of hovering here. What's my target for a Netflix short? It would be around 379. Right? This previous resistance right here, which is why I have that line drawn. Also, we rejected it here too. Okay. This looks great though. If this can reject 411.88, right, this shelf here looks solid. Looks very, very solid. Yeah, I mean, this looks solid. It's probably my top setup for the day. It's also not that strong here pre-market. If the market starts to pull back at open, this could be a solid play. So we'll definitely watch Netflix. Qs, right? We would need Qs to break below this 357 level, and then we'll keep an eye on this level too. The bottom from last week, 354.71. See what else we got. AMD. Just nothing, guys. Nothing. Right. So I mean, we could draw like this. It's kind of forcing it a little bit. Right. And you could draw like this, but it's still forcing it. You know, it has that potential flag into this previous level here, right? Look how this resistance acted as a support last week. Bounced right off of it, right? This is what we always want to look for. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on this, potentially. Right, a little flag potentially within. That's really it. You're looking at the 15-minute. Nah, this isn't really a rising wedge. If anything, this is an inverse head and shoulder, but the right shoulder is not really here as well. Square started to flag here, and then it kind of just trickled to the upside. It wasn't really a strong break, but overall downtrend, we'll see if this can break this high. You know, maybe it could start to continue to push up, but again, overall downtrend. We got to see what the overall market does this week. Let's see what data we have this week. Also, let me pull that up quickly so I can let everyone know what to look for. So nothing really too big today. Powell is speaking on Friday. So existing home sales tomorrow, permits, PMI, Wednesday, and home sales and crude oil. Right, so Wednesday, a lot of data. Thursday, of course, jobless claims, and then Friday, Powell speaking. So that'll be on Friday. All right, I will post this in the Discord, in the watch list section. What about it is making it forced? You have the exact setup drawn. It's just like, it should be obvious, right? The setup should be obvious when you take a look at the chart. You could play calls at the break of 57.27, but it's an overall downtrend. You're fighting the trend here. You're trying to play a bottom reversal here, right? You want to see a clear setup. Let's take a look at VIX. All right, so VIX, right? The level to break last week was 1742. We broke through, we pulled back, it retested. Now it's just consolidating there. So regarding today, I'm going to keep an eye if it breaks this 1807, which would alert potential weakness and downside on the overall market. And then if it really breaks through 18.88, we're going to see way more downside. So Netflix is right here now, pre-market. Just, another sign. We'll see if it breaks 406.52. It will potentially move up to 411, but we'll keep an eye on this at open for puts. Where you want me to take a look at? Let's take a look. Double bottom, you're saying? Yeah, kind of. So it's starting to create this higher low. And has that higher low. It has multiple rejections here across the high. Right, rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times now. So if it can push through, which it's sitting there right here in pre-market, maybe it gets that next leg up, but we then have this previous resistance right here. Right, resistance, resistance, previous support, resistance. So choppy overall chart. It could potentially be starting to create this like rounded bottom. If I could find this thing. Right, like something like that. Maybe. But I don't like guessing. I like the exact levels. And I wouldn't really want to play it because it's just very choppy, this chart. Right? There's no clear setup. But definitely going to be keeping an eye on this QQQ chart and Netflix. Right? QQQ, resistance, resistance, support. So big support below here at 357.59. Right? If that breaks, we're definitely testing 354. If this holds, then we're probably going to push up to 363. Okay. So that's the plan for today, is to keep an eye on Qs and to keep an eye on Netflix as well as NVIDIA. So Netflix, NVIDIA are my top setups, along with Apple. I really like Apple. We can watch that too. So Netflix, NVIDIA, Apple. Anyone have any questions about those setups? NVIDIA, Apple, Netflix, SPY, QQQ. Yeah, premiums are going to be very high on NVIDIA. For sure. But earnings are on Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. Tesla's up 2.6% here pre-market. NVIDIA's up 2.5%. Those are the biggest movers here. Everything else is kind of just up between 0.4 and 0.6% or so. But going to end it here. Going to get the Zoom call set up. If you're not already in VIP, highly suggest it. Watch me trade live. So I will see you guys on the Zoom, and good luck, everyone.